Hi, I'm Rasheed Ogunlaru, and I'm delighted to say I'm here with a friend and a colleague of mine, Warren Knight. Warren, you're a social commerce expert. From what I know about you, I know that you first made your name when you were first involved in selling products for the likes of Disney. Nowadays, you help people to grow their business, helping people understand social media and to boost their business and to sell more of their particular products. I'm keen to just talk to you a little bit about you, your life, social commerce, what it is, and for people who may know nothing about it. First of all, tell me a little bit about your life, because I know from your accent when people hear it, you're not originally from the UK, right?
No, I am from the UK. My background goes sort of to Spain with my mother, but I've actually been brought up in the UK. But I spent a lot of time travelling. The 18 years, I would say, that of being in business have been about travelling. Like you said, I've been very fortunate enough to work with global brands like Disney and Nickelodeon, where I have been asked to travel around the world on their behalf, promoting their products and selling their products into major retailers like Walmart and Tesco's and Sainsbury's and Carrefour and Karstadt over France and Germany. So yeah, I've been sort of very privileged to go around to lots of these different countries, from Scandinavia through to Canada, down to sort of Central America.
And so how did that all come about? How did you first get involved in the world of working with such big names? How did that happen?
I started off, really, it was I had just a pleasure of, it must have been from just sort of pleasing people. I started off being a professional dancer many years ago now, but it was the pleasure that I had for people watching sort of me with the music and sort of being there in front of sort of 20,000 people watching you and enjoying everything that's going on, and the whole ambience and environment there was very exciting for me. And as I sort of got further along the road of going over to Europe and doing things around the UK, I realised that I liked the industry, but there really wasn't an awful lot of ways to help people in that industry. And so that was where I really decided to start my own business, and that was to work with the Princess Hugh Business Trust, get a grant with them, and then start my very own sort of music clothing distribution company, but selling products around Europe.
And how old were you when you first got involved in deciding to set up your own business then?
22.
So that's quite a young age.
Yes,
so you just decided to go for it, and then you ended up then working on some very big brands. How did that come about? How did the stuff like Disney come about? How did you begin that journey and then get such big names in the back?
Yeah, it really came down to the frustrations of actually running my own business and not having the right people around me. I didn't realise this at the time, but I did. What I did realise was that the knowledge and the thirst that I had, and the way that I could communicate with people, I really needed to take it to another level. So I started to work with a company that had a little bit more scope in regards to the way that the business could grow, and I saw that potential with that business. And so that's why within the space of a couple of years, we took the business from a $5 million business up to a $30 million business. So it was a very exciting time.
Wow, and then, this is quite big stuff for a young guy in his 20s. Did you have any idea that you'll be dealing in the business on this kind of a scale? Did you have that in your sights from day one?
I didn't know what my path was, to be perfectly honest with you. You do get very sort of confused along the way, and different personal journeys that you go on throughout your life change the way that you feel, the way that you look at life, and the way that you want to help people in regards to what they're doing, knowing that you've been through something and that's some experience that you want to share with somebody. So although I was, had my own business all the way through my 20s, and then I started working with this company in my early 30s, and then sort of ended up working with them for quite a few years. In total, I think it was about 10 years. Just helping the company grow, working with other companies, helping their brands grow, working with like Nickelodeon as well and selling their products. But it wasn't really until I had quite a major life shift about 4 years ago that really made me look at sort of what was happening in my life.
Right, so there seems as though there are a number of things in your life. There's always been this theme about helping people, this theme about entrepreneurialism, and the skill for helping companies to grow. Has there been one of those themes that's been the most important, or are they all kind of interwoven for you?
I think for me, it's always been about getting to know the person. So on a more of a personal level, a connecting level. So although I was, like Disney asked me to go over to Russia to sell their products for them, and it wasn't because I could speak Russian, but I'd spend the time understanding the market, understanding the people, getting to know the individuals that I would be selling the large quantities to, for them to sort of sell to the retailers and then to the consumer. But it's how the consumer would actually find that product. How would they feel when they picked up that product? At what position in the store that consumer would be able to connect with that at the right time, at the time of purchasing. And then taking it through to the staff, putting the products out onto the shelf, to the warehouse guys collecting it from the container, putting it into the warehouse so it was able to be pick and packed in a way that that the staff would be able to then take it into the stores. So understanding that customer journey from designing the products through to the manufacturing, through to the shipping, to into the store, to the consumer, was a very big part of what I wanted to do, was to help people, to make it easier for them.
Right, and how is it that you developed that expertise? Because understanding that customer journey, I would imagine there's a huge amount in that. Had that always been a quiet passion? Is it something that you learned through just working in these particular sectors? How did you develop that kind of insight to help those companies gain that insight of the customer journey?
I think because I've always been quite in touch with things that I like and that work for me, whether it be a pair of jeans or a pair of trainers, or which gym that I like going to, which machines that I like working on, and on just having a look at how I feel when somebody's trying to promote that service to me or sell that product to me. How did I feel? How did that make me feel when I was in that environment? And just really sort of questioning it when it didn't work for me, and why didn't it work for me, and looking at when it did work for me and just sort of celebrating around that fact. So just understanding that was really key, knowing that there was two sides to it being right and wrong for me as an individual. So I think that's where a lot of it came from.